have anything on the requisitions?
Yeah, I'm fine with them.
Okay, me too. Yes. Anything else to add on to that?
I do have one item for consideration, not on the consent agenda. I have a resolution modifying sections 7.06, 9.02, 9.03, 9.04, 9.09, 9.10, and 15.05 of the rules and regulations of the Warren County Water and Sewer Department.
This relates to what?
Catherine's here if I missed anything, but this is, Catherine and Chris came to my office about a month or so ago, and they're getting some new software system, accounting software at the turn of the year. And as you might be aware, that when they build either a sewer or a water line, we have non-participation fees for those folks that come in afterwards. There's a lot of those lines where the debt has already been paid off. But there's still people that will come on to the non-participation, and so those dollars will go into a capital account. There's, I don't know, you said about 100 or so of those accounts, huh? 150 of those accounts, and it's just going to be too complicated relative to the new software program. So what they were curious about and what this resolution does, Catherine went in and looked at all the outstanding non-participation for both water and sewer and averaged them out. And I think it's $2,200 for the water and about $2,000 for the sewer. And they just would like to use those numbers going forward.
Instead of having 150 different things that you have to program the system to do, it's just two rates.
So is that retroactively or for things moving forward also?
It's just for folks moving forward.
So how's that look? I mean, because I thought sometimes the non-participation fee was based on the cost of the project, that in a specific, this water line came out. Yeah. Just,
So the non-participant fee is set based on the cost of the water line, but they're paid through the debt retirement funds. Once that retirement fund hits its 20 years or 10 years based on how the project was set up, that project's been 100% paid for. This is just additional money that's left over, that stays on that main, that comes back to us, that goes into the capital fund to do repair, replace, and expansion projects.
but on like a new project moving, when you say we're gonna have two rates, I mean, isn't
So
that?
these would be just the rates for those that once they retire, they would get changed from an active status to a retired and then have this amount.
Okay, so this is a particular subset of retired projects, everyone's doing that, so it's not like on new projects moving forward.
No, new
that-
projects would still be at whatever the cost is.
Whatever it
for
is,
that,
right?
Yes.
Okay, I just
until
wanna
the
make sure of that.
Bond retires, yes.
Makes sense.
Well, sounds like you did a lot of work on this, thank you.
She has done a ton of work. She has done a ton.
Okay, anything else from you guys on that? Any
So
other
moved.
motions?
And just,
I'll call the roll on this.
Mr. Grossman?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else before we move on?
No.
Okay, so, Mr. Gomez, would you like to present to us from the treasurer's office?
So, it's been a minute since I've been here. Wanted to give you guys some updates on all the things we've been working on in the treasurer's office. A lot of good updates, thankfully. So, on the boring government finance side of things, our Star Ohio program's still doing very well, still getting about 4.5%, which is great. OMAP, the market access program, which helps save money on bond projects, still very popular, still helping save money for local governments. So, doing what we need to do on that side of things, saving money and making money for local governments. On the more exciting side of things, the consumer side of things, a lot of really good updates. So yesterday we officially launched our new small business program, Buckeye Business Advantage. How this program works is very similar to AgLink. A small business of 150 employees or less, based here in Ohio, is eligible now for loans up to $1 million at a 3% reduced interest rate. So basically, if the rate they're getting from their bank is 10%, we're gonna be able to get that down to around 7%. So the
So it's
loan,
not 3%, it's
it's, yeah, 3% off, the rate, yeah.
3% lower than
Yes, yeah,
LIBOR or whatever.
yeah,
And
so,
and how does this program work? So how would one apply for it?
so they would just go to their financial institution, say, whoever they work with, whether it's credit union, bank, whoever, as long as they're a public, as long as they're able to take state money, and say, hey, I want a Buckeye.
Wait a second, how does that, what do you mean, as long as they're able to take state?
Uh,
I bet you anybody would like to have take state money.
That'd be a certified public depository, so they need to be approved by the Board of Deposit at the state level, so most,
A chartered
The
bank.
bank.
yeah. Credit unions are now, counted
Oh,
as
so you're
well.
talking about them lowering the rate of a current loan at a bank?
Uh,
No,
not
they're the
necessarily,
originator.
no.
So is it a new bank loan?
Yes, so if they're, they theoretically could refinance into this too,
So in
but,
other words, if you already got a bank loan with a bank and you want to refinance, but you got to refinance.
Yeah.
Then you can tell the bank, hey, I'd like to refinance with this program at 3% less than what you would normally do.
yes,
And the
so,
bank has got to go along with that.
well, so how it works is, it works like our other link deposits, so basically, we buy a CD with the bank for the amount of the loan, and so say the rate on the CD is 4%, we'll take 1% as the state, and 3% will go towards buying down the interest rate on the loan. So, we do this with AgLink for farmers, so, we're able to help save farmers and people in the ag sector up to 3% as well. That program we've had for a while. We're having another record year, by the way. I was gonna get to that. We're about $10 million. Through the first 6 months of the year, $10 million in interest saved across the state for farmers. So, doing very well. But yeah, Buckeye Business Advantage works the same way. They'll put in the application with their financial institution. They'll send the application over to us, and usually within a week or two, we buy the CD and start basically buying down their
Is it
interest
called
rate.
Buckeye Advantage?
Buckeye Business Advantage. Yep. So the go live date was yesterday, as far as they told me. So we're very excited about it. It's going to be a game changer for us here in the state of Ohio. I was with the treasurer in Dayton. Must have been 2 weeks ago now. We did an interview with Dayton Daily News. We had a manufacturer there, and he said, you know, the 3% savings, that's the difference between hiring 0 people and hiring 3 people. So, very excited about it. Like I said, they can borrow up to $1 million, get 3% off the interest rate, repayable over 2 years. So, as long as they're based here in Ohio, and under that threshold for employees, we're very excited. So, that's our newest thing we're doing in the treasurer's office. We're anticipating a lot of interest in that pretty quickly. So, very excited about that. The last program we launched, the new one, Ohio Homebuyer Plus, we launched last year, January last year. Started with 0 accounts. We've been pretty steady at 17,000 accounts, 17 to 20,000 accounts across the state over the last year or so, which tells us, one, that people are still opening accounts, and 2, that they're using the money to actually buy houses here in the state of Ohio. So how Homebuyer Plus works is kind of the same thing. You go into your financial institution, say, I want to buy a house here in the state of Ohio, and they'll give you, you'll get basically another 3% on top of the savings rate of whatever the bank is offering. And that's, you know, same thing. We buy a CD with the bank, and the interest from the CD goes towards pushing up your interest rate for your homebuyer savings account. And that program, they can save up to $100,000. They got to use it within 5 years on down payment or closing costs for a primary residence here in the state of Ohio. So, very popular. That one was very, very popular very quickly. We're still the only state, if not the only state at this scale, who does a program like that in the country. So we're very happy with that one. It seems to be working out pretty well so far. One of our other big programs, our stable account program. So stable accounts are for individuals with disabilities that are able to save money without losing any of their public benefits. Right now, so stable accounts, they can save up to now $35,000 a year without losing any of their public benefits like Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, that sort of thing. We just last week surpassed 50,000 accounts, stable accounts, which is great. In the last state budget, we had some big changes that were tremendous for the program. First, we eliminated all account fees for Ohio residents. So previously, when Treasurer Sprague took over in 2019, I think account fees were like $35 a year. Now they're 0, which is great. And the really big piece is we eliminated Medicaid estate recovery for stable accounts. So Previously, if the account holder passed away, Medicaid could put a claim in on the account and take whatever money was left. We have now outlawed that in the state of Ohio. So I think we're the 16th or 17th state that has outlawed that for stable accounts. So very happy about that. That eliminates pretty much any barriers that are left for someone to say or family to say, no, we don't want our child to have a stable account. So that's very exciting. And also on the stable account front, starting in January, the eligibility age will go from 26 to 46. So how it works now is if the they're eligible for a stable account if the disability starts before the age of 26. Starting in January, that number is going to go up to 46. So that's going to include a lot of veterans, a lot of people hurt on the job. We're actually at the number they gave us was there's going to be 6 million more people who are eligible for stable accounts, which is great. So looking forward to that at the first of the year. So with that, I think those are all the big things we got going on in the office. Everything else is going well. We still have a year and a half left in the term, but closing out strong. So with that, if you have any questions, happy to answer them to the best of my ability.
Anything? All right, well, thank you so much, John, for
I
coming by.
got these handy dandy cheat sheets for you all as well. So
Great, thank you.
Thanks so much. Take care. Okay. Kurt, we've got you next. I don't know, yeah, the county engineer, you want to tell us what that buzz is?
Yes. Well, I've been sitting back there, I determined that it's an unknown buzzing coming from an upper floor.
Well, welcome.
I wish I knew, I wish I knew.
Right.
Anyway, thank you for your time this morning, really appreciate it. Been county engineer since January, and been performing the duties of the county drainage engineer since then. So thought it would be appropriate to come before you to ask that you officially appoint me as county drainage engineer and to provide an agreement of duties as well as compensation. I can talk loud, it's okay. And basically Neil, my predecessor, as you all know, he retired at the end of December. He was appointed as county drainage engineer by a previous board back in 2004 by Pat South and Larry Crisenberry and Mike Kilburn. And and that's under, we call it county drainage engineer, but it is termed as well county sanitary engineer for drainage purposes. And it's under 6117.01 section C of the ORC. That section, as well as the another section of the code, 315.14, basically states that these are additional duties, in addition to the statutory duties of the county engineer. And it provides for an agreement with the county commissioners as well as compensation. So these duties are required because of a mandate from the Ohio EPA, which we've been dealing with since 2004. We were designated as an MS4, which just stands for a municipal separate storm sewer system. And likewise, we need to comply with the EPA's NPDES, which stands for the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System Phase 2 requirements. And that's why this section of code and these duties came about. And it does provide for the additional compensation. With that, and that was all came about from section 307.79 of the code. So anyway, basically what I'm asking for is compensation at 20% of my county engineer's salary. And the way that I arrived at that number is, number one, since January, and I knew this before I took office, we spent a lot of time reviewing development plans, stormwater plans in relation to, making sure that it complies with our Warren County Stormwater Management Plan and the permit that we have to file every year with the EPA. we spend a lot of time, a couple of our staff members, plus my own time, managing them and administering that. Likewise, I looked at, you know, okay, what county are we most like? I'd say we're most like Delaware County. Delaware County is the fastest growing state. How about the fastest growing county in the state? We're, you know, close second or third fastest growing county. The county engineer, he's compensated, in Delaware County, he's compensated 20% of the county engineer's
What was
salary.
Neil's rate?
He was not compensated.
Neil did get money.
Well, there's,
One of my predecessors hated this, that
right,
he talked
correct,
about
correct.
that Neil went and got the law changed to be able to do this, and I thought,
He-
remember that,
so-
Bruce?
So-
He did.
I can tell you about it.
So I can single, narrow it to two, the saying he, and that was Commissioner Kilburn, and he bullied Neil into doing it without compensation because of what exactly you're saying, that Neil went and got the law changed so that he could get additional compensation. It was a very contentious public meeting when that occurred.
All right, so explain to me. So we have a law that provides that the commissioners can appoint a drainage engineer, and it doesn't have to be the county engineer.
Correct.
No,
Well,
the statute says you must first offer it
Yes.
to the county engineer.
first
Okay,
right of
well,
refusal.
okay,
yeah.
good. So we've got a law, I don't know who passed this, I guess the state legislature passed this, telling us that we have to have a drainage engineer. Is that a requirement that we must have a drainage engineer?
If
It
you-
says may.
Okay,
If you're designated as
so what is, the-
Yeah. If you're
what,
designated as an MS4, which we are, not every county in the state is, we are, and so we have to comply with that. So
wait.
that's
So-
why the stormwater fund was set up. And I can tell you, many counties don't have a stormwater fund, you know, 5590. We do. Many counties, the county drainage engineer is paid out of the, you know, general fund. We've got a mechanism to pay me, and it's, you know, sustainable.
How much is this payment?
So, yeah, 20% of my county engineer salary would be $26,303.
So you get another $26,000?
Yes, sir.
And up to this point, since you've been the engineer since January?
Yeah,
Okay, who's been handling this drainage thing?
we have.
So you do it anyway?
Yeah, we've been doing it, and I guess I should have come to you sooner, to be quite honest with you. There's a lot going on, and also kind of wanted to get a handle on, I pretty much knew before Neil retired what was involved, but I wanted to get a handle on it myself. So that's my.
So if you weren't appointed the drainage engineer to get the money, you'd still be doing it because it's already within your scope of authority?
Neil did, but I guess that's something we would have to discuss.
Well, I don't see any reason why not to give this to you
Yeah.
and allow you to do it because the state law has set it up. And that extra money to your salary comes from a fund that is created with whose money?
Yeah, so that's already been created, 21 years ago, the Fund 5590, and it's created and funded by the $15 per year annual
Fees.
assessment. Yeah, that's collected.
And did you mention how much is in this fund right now?
We've got ballpark, $350,000 to $400,000 in there. And
Is
it's
that
just-
fund only for the purpose of paying the drainage engineer?
No, sir. No, so basically, and I need to give credit to Molly Conley and Soil and Water, we work on this together. They handle, there's 6 minimum controls that we have to satisfy for the EPA. And they deal with 5 of them, we deal with 1 of them, and we help each other. We provide the technical, engineering experience, the professional engineering experience. They do a lot of the inspections and the public outreach. So 60% of the revenue generated by the $15 goes to Soil and Water. Currently, our office gets what is it, it's about 16% of the revenue to fund half of the salary of one of our staff members. But Dave Mick and Ron Hessler, they're the two that do most of the work. They spend anywhere from 33% to 75% of their time on this. And, you know, Neil, to his credit, I think that's what he decided to do as well. Let's just, you know, have some money. But I can, you know, 16%, you know, of that revenue, it doesn't even come close to matching what our time involved. You know, so it would cover 60% to soil and water. And then if you include my drainage salary in there with the additional half of one of our staff members' salary, then you're about, that's another 25, I mean, not another 20, that's 25% total. So it would go from 16% to 25% plus the 60% from soil and water. So 85%. The other 15% we would use, you know, for maybe outside contracts as necessary.
And I forget, I mean, I helped set this up in 2005.
Yeah.
That because we had multiple issues with drainage at the time where you would have the big public drain pipes in someone's backyard, they didn't even know they were there, and they collapsed. And then who's paying for it? And that was a real thing. We had 2 or 3 of those incidents all at once. My thought was trying to create this public fund that actually helped alleviate that, because,
Yeah.
you know, a private homeowner could have a $80,000 bill for a pipe they didn't even know was theirs, and it served the whole community. But then we figured out that that's not really what this kitty of money is going towards. It's more like putting "don't dump" signs on drains, right? In public
Right.
education, like
Yes.
you go to schools.
Yes, public
And
education.
if I remember correctly, yeah, you're putting little signs, "don't do this," but there's really nothing, from an engineering standpoint, you're not approving plans, are you?
Oh, yeah. That's a great question. Every developer that comes in, development, we have to review the stormwater, you know, plans to make sure that they comply with our, you know, county stormwater regulations and the stormwater management plan. And that's been approved by the EPA, so we do. And every earth disturbing permit of 1 acre or more, you know, soil and water coordinates that with it's called a SWIP, Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, to make sure that there's not erosion, you know, issues. And so there's a lot involved in that. But you're right, Dave. It could be taken to another level, and we've talked about that some. We brainstormed a little bit about that, about should we look at, you know, creating subsequent stormwater districts, drainage districts under 6117 sewer districts that would be able to control some of this, you know, outside the public right of way, which is a big shift, you know, from handling all the stormwater.
But the
anyway.
downside of that
But-
is once we get in that business, we're completely in that business, and that could be $100 million potential liability too, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Right?
The big thing is you would have to make sure that it's funded by, you know, the benefiting property owners. And, but, you know, if we went into that, I wouldn't be asking for any more compensation. I mean, but that's something that we do need to think about, in my opinion.
So Kurt, if you refuse to serve in that, would you then be obligated under the Ohio Revised Code to hire this engineer internally?
No, I mean, I guess you guys could contract with somebody else to do the work.
That's correct. Board of County Commissioners could contract with another professional engineer, or you could delegate it to someone else, but they'd have to be a
But there'd be some
professional engineer.
expenditure of funds to do that.
Yes. there
So we would be
expenditure.
required to expend some level of funds to perform this service. And what you're asking the board today is that you are not required to provide this service as a county engineer. You're willing to provide this service to the county if the county should so choose, and that your recommended contract would be $26,000 and whatever dollars in order to add that service to, your portfolio of work.
Yes.
Okay, so let me understand. I think I got this at the very first question I asked. We first have to offer you to do it. So really, we have to make the offer for you to perform the service,
Right.
and you would have to reject it for us to get somebody else. But really what's happening is that you want to do it,
Yeah.
and you're asking us to say, to make the offer that we're
Yes.
mandated to make.
Yes.
Okay, so just clear, this is not really a free-for-all here. This is, we're required under the state law to offer you to do it. You want to do it, you're
Right.
bringing it to
Right.
us, and that will add 26,000 some dollars to your salary, which is set by state law, and is current, what is your salary currently under state law?
Yeah, it's 131,000.
So this will take you up to nearly $160,000 a year.
Yes.
Okay. And for that, you're gonna perform this service that we could hire, if we didn't use you, but we have to use you if you wanna do it. We could hire somebody else to do it. What does this work entail? How much work is going on with this?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's, to manage it, we manage the fund 5590, stormwater fund, and, you know, all the development work that comes in. Plus like I mentioned, you know, two of our engineers, recently it's been taking probably 50 to 75% of their time.
But this isn't going to them.
No, it's.
So, I mean,
it's
they're
going-
doing that.
it's going to me. I manage.
Yeah,
I manage-
and others,
yeah.
the work is actually being done by your office.
And I should mention too, in fairness, that it's, you know, statutorily, it doesn't say that it needs to be 20%.
Point, I was gonna say, that there's
It-
probably, I think there's a range, right?
There's really no range, it's just
You base it
Personally-
off of Delaware County.
Delaware County, I know Montgomery County, they're discussing in concept of appointing their county engineer, and that was the number they used. I can tell you Butler County, Claremont County, Greene County that touch us, they were compensated $20,000, but they are compensated $20,000 annually, which is just over 15%, but they were appointed 6 to 20 years ago, and at that time, it was, you know, 17 to 20% of their engineer salary. And I was just, you know, the 20% of the county engineer salary, I feel like that's fair. And likewise, it would increase as my county engineer's salary increases, which it increases, as you all know, 1.75% annually, currently. But anyway, but yeah, to answer your question, it doesn't say statutorily that it has to be 20%.
Okay, well,
Is this something that I'm sorry,
No, go ahead.
Tom, I was just, is this something that you're wanting us to contemplate in this budget process for,
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thought would be, I mean, however you guys would like to do it.
but it's coming out of this 5590 fund, not out of our general revenue fund, but we would contemplate this in the budget for 26.
Yes, I mean, the way I looked at it is I've been doing it since January. I'm not asking for back pay. I mean, if we can get something initiated yet this year and prorate what's remaining, but if we need to wait till next year's budget, I'm fine with that too.
So we don't have to decide today, I guess is what I'm
Yeah, it's-
getting at.
it's-
We can, I mean, I'm okay to decide today too, I just.
Yeah, I think it's diligent.
I have to take a quick break, I'll be back.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's diligent to look at this for a second, yeah, and refresh ourselves on the law, and talk to council.
This needs to be a separate agreement, offer and an acceptance. The statute says he has to accept or reject within 30 days. So we'd have to put together an agreement.
Within 30 days, you said?
Except once the offer's made within 30 days.
Okay.
But we need to put together an agreement that has a scope of services that he would provide.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I could
it's on our radar.
provide that to Bruce and.
Yeah, no, certainly don't blame you for asking. We'll put it right at the top of the list heading in, and we'll get something within the next 30 days, and you'll have an offer.
Thank you, appreciate it,
Thank
appreciate
you.
your time. Sorry to
No, that's
bring that
okay.
up, but yeah, I can get the duties to Bruce and go from there.
Excellent,
And
thank
and
you.
Martin, sorry, and Susan. Thanks,
Great.
appreciate it.
Sounds good.
Is there anybody here before I take a motion to go in executive session that wishes to address the board? Seeing none, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to go into executive session, conference with our attorney concerning pending or imminent court action pursuant to ORC 121.22G3.
Second, please call the roll.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes,
Mr. Young?
Yes.
thank you.